The Lion versus the Spider. As the tender light of the rising sun shone over the forest, creatures big and small, winged and crawling, gathered around the singing willow tree. They all patiently waited for the Tanasi the wise. Tanasi was in fact a big old spider with red, round, bulging eyes and long, furry legs. Above all, he was considered to be the cleverest and the wisest among the denizens of the woods. So early every morning, they wended their way to his webby abode on the swaying willow to seek his advice and counsel on different matters. Now, Lion Dagambo sat in his great cave in deep contemplation. Why should a wee little spider be given so much importance, whereas I am the king of the jungle? He wondered. So, one day, summoning the spider to his presence, he said in a resounding tone, "Everyone thinks you to be very wise and smart. How can you be the greater than the king himself? No, your majesty, you are far greater than your subjects in every respect. You are after all our king, replied Tanansen in a flattering tone. But you see, the creatures think that I have some ability. Let us have a wager to decide who amongst us is abler, proposed the king. I agree, O king, but what are the conditions of the bet? Asked the spider. The lion pondered a while and scratched his mane. We'll have to perform three tasks, he said at last. You'll decide what the first one will be. The second one will be thought out by me. The third we'll leave to the onlookers to choose, and they will be the judge and have the final say as regard the winner. That's a fine idea, Your Majesty. You are indeed very fair and impartial, exclaimed Tanansi. News of the contest between King Digambo and Tanansi the spider spread like wildfire. The following day, all the inhabitants of the forest gathered excitedly on the clearing fixed for the contest. There was pin drop silence as everyone waited for the Tanansi to declare the conditions of the first trial. Let us jump over our tails, said the spider all of a sudden. Ha ha ha, laughed the lion. Dear Tenancy, do you mind just casting a glance behind you? You have no tail. You are indeed a fool. But the spider only calmly repeated, Let us jump over our tails. Very well then, but don't blame me later that I didn't caution you, said the lion, and taking the tip of his tail in his mouth, tried to jump over it. Alas, there suddenly rose a cacophony of laughter. Everyone was amused to see the funny sight. However hard the lion tried to jump over his tail, he tripped and fell flat on his face every time. Finally, in great humiliation, he gave up. Now all eyes turned towards the spider. He crawled up halfway on one of the hind legs of the elephant and over a long silicon rope. He then stretched it across to one of the four legs. Up and down, he jumped over it again and again and traveled from one end to the other several times. Look at my tail. Your Majesty, I have jumped over it and successfully completed the task, said the spider with a twinkle in his red round eyes. Everybody looked awestruck and the king, rather stunned, said, But that is not quite your tail. Look at my behind. Doesn't it stretch from it? Retorted the spider. Now my web does act like a tail, though I have no real one. Yes, yes, all consented in one voice. Tananse has indeed jumped over his tail, and they gave him a good applause. The king was compelled to admit defeat. All waited for the lion to announce the second trial. He stretched his mane again and though well, ah, this certainly is going to be tough for you, dear Tanansi, he said jubilantly. Now listen attentively, he continued. Both of us should capture a wild beast or insect opposite to us in size. Mind you, they should be caught alive and not dead. Since you are a punny tinny creature, you ought to capture the tall giraffe, whereas I, a big fat animal, will try to catch a butterfly. Now be prepared to taste defeat. A host of many hued butterflies happily perched on a thicket nearby. Their repeated attempts of the Lord of the Jungle to catch them only proved futile, for the weak creatures were either too swift for him or if he managed to get hold of some, they fell dead on the ground because of the impact of his powerful blows. Soon all the butterflies had clean disappeared from the bush, which lay almost livid to the earth. As all enjoyed the hilarious sight of the king of the forest dancing around the bush, waving his paws, Tanansi the spider quietly sneaked towards the river bank, which was often frequented by giraffes. There he came across a mother giraffe in great pain. What ails you, graceful lady? Why are there tears in your eyes? He gently asked. I have bruised my leg from a bad fall. Do help me, brother spider, she said. Tenancy at once cleaned the wound and putting some medicinal herbs in you, wove around it a webby bandage. I feel much better now. How can I ever repay you for your kindness? Said the giraffe. Yes, you can surely do me a favor. Would you mind accompanying me to our king Digamio the lion? Asked the spider, happy with his good luck. To the lion, what if he kills me? You may rest assured no such thing will happen to you, said Tenancy very confidently. So the spider and the giraffe marched into the arena and were cheered by one and all, naturally except the lion who was so exhausted by them hunting butterflies that he had collapsed under a tree and was being massaged by two of his monkey Litutians. Well, well, said the lion, opening one eye. You wee little creature seem to have won the second round too. Wait till I beat you in the third one. All the assembled animals and birds and insects clustered close together and consulted among themselves, while the lion and the spider awaited in silence. For the third task was to be decided by them. Soon the elephant blew his trumpet, and a large green parrot alighting on its head made the formal announcement. As you know, Your Majesty and Thanansa the spider, began the parrot in a sing song manner. Our homeland is suffering from acute scarcity of water. We all would like both of you to bring us some rain. Ah, that's nothing but a child's play for me, boosted the lion. My mighty roar, yes, the roar of the king of the jungle, will surely beat on the rain laden clouds. Don't you worry, you will soon have pleasant showers. The lion roared and roared and roared. Some coconuts and ripe mangoes fell down from the treetops, but nothing more happened. The lion's voice cracked and became hoarse. Still, there was no sign of any cloud. The sky was blue and the sun continued to shine brightly. Insolently fluffy fellows, angrily shouted the lion, looking up at the sky and stamping his feet on the ground. How dare you disobey the king of the jungle? Wearied, he slumped down and asked for a drink of water from the coolest spring. Meanwhile, Tananse had quietly made his way to the eagle's nest. Sister Eagle, he said in loving tone, would you mind helping me to find a cloud? Gladly. Shall I help you, Tananse? Replied the eagle. Many a time you have helped me out of difficult situations with your wise counsel. So the spider climbed onto the eagle's back and they rose higher and higher into the sky. The forest looked a speck of green, but alas, not a single cloud was to be seen in the wide firmament. Just as they had begun to lose hope, they spotted a little black cloud sailing towards them from behind the mountain's peaks. Oh, little black cloud, said Tenanse when they got closer. Our people are suffering from want of water. Would you be kind enough to give us some? No, no, I cannot oblige you. There are other people and places in greater need, replied the cloud firmly. Please do come with us. We are in deep trouble, pleaded the eagle. But the little black cloud seemed to be rather adamant. Tenancy quickly wove around the cloud his webby silken rope and holding one end, asked the eagle to proceed towards the forest. Thus they forcibly tugged along the little black cloud with them. He struggled hard to free himself, but in vain. All the animals exclaimed in joy, look up, everyone, look up. Tenancy is bringing us a lovely cloud. He has saved us. Hooray! Ah, said the lion, it is of no use till we have some rain. The little black cloud was very angry indeed. He only frowned and would not let go his stock of water. However hard the eagle and the spider tried to coax him, then Tenanza whispered something in the eagle's ear. The eagle began to tickle and pinch the little black cloud with his sharp talons. The cloud at once burst into guffaws of laughter, and it started raining heavily. All the inhabitants of the forest gleefully sang and danced in the cool, pleasant showers. The lion went up to the spider as he enjoyed the rain, perched on a large round mushroom, and gently said, dear Tenancy, I must congratulate you for your feats. You are indeed smarter than I thought you to be. I am really touched by your kind words, said the spider in a choked voice. In spite of everything, you are your mighty king, your majesty. From that day onwards, Digambo, the lord of the jungle, was often seen among the morning callers of Tenancy the Wise. Okay, friends, if you like my stories, please like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Thank you.